you were a Cubs fan or a Cardinal fan. There was really no White Sox in Central
Right.
Illinois. It's always Cubs, Cardinals.
Yeah. I will say, and this is a credit to Sox fans, uh, the, ever since I've gotten older, I feel like I've seen a lot more White Sox fans when I go back home or if
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yep.
around the general Central Illinois area. I don't know if it's just White Sox fans that lived here in Chicago and then moved south or what, but
Maybe.
whenever I was a kid, I agree. Like there weren't a lot of White Sox fans where I grew up. It really was Cubs or Cardinals. And to me, like it's when I say that, I think like White Sox fans would get offended by it, but it's just a fact. It's not even like it's not me trying to put down their fan base because they're one of the more cheaper tickets in town, and like
Yep.
the jokes about how no one goes to their games and stuff. Like it's just I don't know what it is, man. Like I just I just know growing up that half my friends were Cubs fans and half my friends were Cardinal fans, and so
And
that's
you
why the
argued
rivalry.
in school.
Yeah.
You're arguing back and forth. There was no White
Oh
Sox
yeah.
ever. It
I
was
was
just
so young. I was so young that when I was going through like grade school and stuff, I grew up through like the 98 home run race.
yep.
So
Yep.
I half, like, not when I say half, I mean like 85% of my friend group was Cardinal fans.
Yep.
And so I've had to hear it from this fan base my entire life. That's why I have such a disdain for them, and their fan base at least, and their team. But the 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 fact that we got to grow up through the summer of '98 and going through that era of time of baseball, growing up through it as a kid, I always try to emphasize it, especially when we talk about Sammy Sosa on CHGO Cubs, about how much that home run race and just that era of time like really made a bunch of fans, or made a bunch of kids baseball fans.
Yep.
And I think a lot of the older generations don't necessarily understand. I could be wrong on that, but I that's the feeling I get. But I think at the end of the day, fans of whatever team or whatever, they become fans because of guys who transcended the game. And those two guys, Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire, like, to me, they saved the game, man. And
Yeah.
so, go again, growing up with the fan base of the opposite team through that home run race and the rivalry mixed in, it was a different level of banter that I've, like, it was the first time I've experienced banter in my childhood. And I would say that as I got older and everything, I still don't think I've ever experienced the type of banter I experienced during that. Of course, I was a kid and we all said dumb shit at the time. And,
Right.
you say when you're a kid, you just you don't even know what you're saying. You just say shit you hear or see on
Right.
TV or whatever, right? But,
Right.
yeah, like that rivalry is something down there in Central Illinois. And, I kind of wish we had a little bit more of it up here, in terms of, I guess, for Cubs Cardinals, but there are Cardinal fans here, but it's just not nearly as many, obviously. And, it's, you're either a Cubs or a Sox fan, from the most part here. And that makes sense. There's two teams here. Right. So,
Right.
but I do kind of miss just the bickering with people, all the time, a little
Oh,
bit,
it would
just
get
a little bit.
it would get heated. You may not talk to your friend for like 2 days. It would get
I know.
especially
There's something about it that just, I don't know. But I will say, like, you didn't really ask me this, but like sometimes people ask me like why I hate the Cardinals so much, and it really is just like I'm fueled. I'm legitimately fueled by all the banter and the shit talk with me
yes.
and my friends and everything like that when I was a kid and
Yes.
where I grew up. It's all literally fueled from that. There's nothing else, and I will carry that fuel forever. It doesn't ever go empty. It's
Oh,
always going to be there, man.
well, that's why I don't think I'd hate the Cardinals as much if it wasn't for the fans. Like, you're obviously going to hate them. I say the
Mhm.
same